Welcome to this EliteParks webinar on how to use the changelog. My name is Katie and I'm an application consultant for Elite Dynamics. A common challenge in business management applications is avoiding unwanted changes in data. It could be anything from incorrect customer telephone numbers to an incorrect post into the general ledger. This webinar will show you the capabilities to find out what's changed, who changed it, and when the change was made. I'll demonstrate how to set up the changelog and how to control what's recorded. I'll show you how to view the changelog entries either as a whole or on a particular record. And I'll also cover retention policies and how you can utilise these to manage the volume of data stored in the changelog. So I'll go straight into the demonstration. In order to track anything in the changelog, it must be activated. So I'll search for changelog setup and make sure changelog activated is switched on here. Then you'll need to set up the tables you want to track. If you don't have any tables set up, it won't record anything. So I'll go to Setup and Tables. I can then see a list of tables in Business Central. I can either scroll through these or I can use the search function. So we'll test with customer, so I'll search for that. So I'll highlight the customer table and then I've got three options. So I can log insertions, I can log modifications and I can log deletions. Insertions will log anything that's inserted into the customer table, modifications, anything that's modified, and deletions, anything that's deleted. Then I've got another three options for each of these. Blank means nothing's tracked at all fields means everything's tracked, and then some fields allows you to select the fields within a table that you want the changelog to track. I'll put all fields against insertion and some fields for log modification for this example. If I then select the three dots, I get a list of the fields in that table. So I'll select name, city and phone number for example. And then I can track these pieces of information when they're modified. And then finally, I'll select all fields on log deletion. Once that's set up, any new customers that are added, any details that are amended on those fields that we set up, and any customers that are deleted will be logged in the changelog. So if I create a new customer now, we can see how that's then affected in the changelog. So I'll create a new customer and fill in their details. So if I go to the changelog now, we can see what's been tracked. So I'll search for changelog and select changelog entries. This list is going to get bigger and bigger as we go along. So if I select the funnel at the top, I can put a filter on. If I select date and time, I can put a T in for today. And then I can also filter on my user ID. So you can see in here the date and time of the change, the user ID who made that change, and then the table caption that shows that customer's been created. You can also see the type of change at the end there, so you can see insertion to show that a record has been inserted. I also have the changelog switched on for bookings, so if I make some amendments to some bookings, we'll then have a look back at the changelog to see the difference. So if I search for bookings now, and then find a booking that I can amend, I'll amend the price of this booking. And I'll also change the name of the booking, and I'll see this in the changelog. So if I go back to the changelog now, and I'll filter on today's date again, and this time I'll filter on the table caption of booking. So you can see in the field caption what's been changed, so the price override date and user ID has been modified. And you can also see that the name was modified, and you can see the old value and the new value. So it's been changed from Wendy Barker to Janet Hall. You can also view the changelog entries on a particular record. So if I navigate to that booking that I just amended, and then look for the changelog, you can then see the entries are filtered down to this one particular record. So things to note is you need to think carefully about what you want to track in your changelog. You don't want to track all tables, all fields, because the changelog entries will become huge and difficult to manage, and it could slow down your database. So you want to think carefully about what do you want to report on, what do you need to know if something's changed. If you do see something that's changed and you're not sure who changed it, you could switch the changelog on for that particular table, field, whatever it might be, and then in the future you've got that recorded if it happens again, and then you've got details of who you need to target for retraining. You can create retention policies to delete unneeded data and logs after a period of time that you specify. Over time, the change logs can build up. By cleaning up old entries, you can make it easier to focus on more recent and probably more relevant information. Hopefully that demo has shown you how the changelog can be used. If you have any questions on what we've covered today, please get in contact with your account manager directly, and they should be able to assist you further. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar.